Okay, guys, already I told so how to learn things freely. Okay, this is the one of the site I think already I told, otherwise no, so we can tell. Okay. Okay. So yeah, related to the Microsoft things, you can learn, guys. So like Azure Cloud, complete Azure Cloud 104 and other things also, you can learn it from here. Given I completed a few things from it, so you can see. So my current activities. So my currently learning kind of stuff. Okay. So once it is completed. Okay. So the XPC will getting added kind of stuff. So certifications. So once you are completed that particular module, so you will receive a module related badges also. Okay. So Azure fundamental concepts, resource with tools, resource manager, Active Directory part, introduction to the Azure fundamentals kind of stuff. So you can see here it is. What is a cloud computer? What is Azure? Tour of Azure services. Get started with Azure account case studies where we use cloud computing part. Okay, where it is batches. I'm showing so what I have completed. This is uh, discuss Azure fundamental concepts. So type of cloud models, describe the cloud benefits and considerations, and describe different cloud services. So once you are completed, there is a knowledge check. Knowledge check is around a 2 to 3 questions, sometimes 4 questions. Okay. So what is the use of those questions is help like what are you studied. So you will recollect that information from it. Okay. So even for a starters also, it is quite easy. Like just the some introduction cloud kind of stuff. So obviously you will easily learn from it. Okay. This is one path. Another path is also there. So that is for AWS. You want to learn AWS basic cloud computing kind of stuff. There is a free training is also available. Okay, so first certification in AWS is a cloud practitioner. So you can learn from it, but you need a basic information like what is AWS, what is cloud, like this. This is a cloud practitioner kind of stuff. Okay, some are required subscription means paid account is required. You can log in with your normal Amazon Prime account kind of stuff also. You can log in. Otherwise, you can create your own account for it. So this is account is your Amazon.in, Amazon Prime account, that related account only, not AWS cloud related account. It's not that one. It is normal account. So this is also given free training. Okay. So this is also we can get a learning from here also, guys. Okay. So this material I have taken from there. So why? Because of when I'm learning, it's we have to read it. You cannot just watch a video and just we learn something and we forget about it. It's not like that. So you compulsory you have to read it. That kind of material that are provided. Okay. which course you want it, you can easily browse it. Azure related, .NET related, PowerShell related, Git related, GitHub related. Okay. Learning paths wise, module wise, you can able to search it. So for this one, you need a Microsoft account. Any Microsoft account works. So we'll start with the cloud computing. What is a cloud and all kind of stuff, guys. Learning of cloud computing or any basic part. So different ways from different trainers or different materials. Okay. From the infrastructure with a mind with the infrastructure related, or with the mind of just what is cloud and what is use of cloud, like that we can learn it, or we can come from the bottom to top. Next one is application related perspective, means there's a client side or maybe service provider sides, like developer side. That way also we can understand what is a cloud computing. So which way you learn, that is okay, no problem. Understand. Today is 17th, 04, 43.
Hello, sir.
Yeah, tell me.
Sir, what is the IITL, sir? Means it is a certificate or some more technology.
What it is, or
IITL. In the reference video, there will be a video with the LMS. That's why I asked you, sir.
I didn't just noise is high. Put in a chat box or one by one, please. Slowly tell me.
II, IITL.
RITL.
So, IITL. II. IITL, sir. I pasted in the wrote in the chat box, sir.
Okay. ITIL. IITL. Should this? ITIL. This is you're asking?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Yeah. So ITIL, sorry, ITIL is the infrastructure library. Okay, so we learn about a service desk, service operation definitions is a one of the part in a ITIL. So ITIL having a 5 stages. We discussed in a service operations part on. Okay, we didn't discuss remaining things. Okay, this all five is belongs to the ITL part. So when you start an organization or you want to start an organization or already organization is running. So ITL is a process related. It means how to start a business, what business you have to start. What is the, take an example, guys. I want to provide a internet service in my place. So people come like, so they start giving internet connections. So what is the demand in that area to use a internet? Before Corona time, internet is not a big deal because we have a mobile, we have a Geo, we have our video calls. That's enough. Okay, but guys, are able to hear now?
Yes, sir.
The internet disconnected suddenly. Yeah, very simple to understand, guys. Actually, we can take the class. Okay, very simple to say ITIL. ITL is a Information Technology Infrastructure Library. It is have what is the use of this one is like I want to start a business or already I'm working in a business. Okay, I'm already organization is established. So I want to provide a service. What are the service I'm already having, or maybe I want to start a new kind of services, or with the service new business I want to start. Okay, there is a lot of questions are there. Okay, so what this ideal is help you to put a questions. So then we can able to understand one by one and put them into the proper process. Like what is the demand in the of the service? I want to build an application. So how many people is are having a demand of that application? Okay, how many people will use it? How many clients require that particular applications? Okay, so that's an ideal. For example, there is a social media site is called Orkut. After Orkut, Facebook is came. So Orkut is not given good competition for with a new Facebook. Orkut is more popular, but suddenly it is down. So what is the strategy? What is the why it is down? What are the things to need to change to get with the competition with the Facebook? Or what are the specialty about Facebook? So why Facebook is become popular and then other medias are not came. Okay. So like that, there is a lot of things will come and go out. So thing is like what is the demand? What are the changes you required? What are the new things required by the people our clients, our users. So we have to understand that is called a strategy. How much money I have to invest? What are the investments I will get it based on this particular business? Okay, so these are all service strategy. Service design, I have to design according to that service requirement. Okay, required things. Okay, I have to design um, um, either it is already existing one or a new one, or we have to design it. Transition, service transition means you have to build and deploy. Service transition comes under the build and deploy, and required changes you have to do it in a transition time only. If you do deployment is good, then no issues. Normally, any service, routine service management, okay, any issues occurs, then we have to mm, follow up and do the service. So that is comes under service operations, continual service improvement from first four strategy, design, transition, and operations. Depends upon how business is going on, okay, and what are the customer response surveys, okay, different measurements you take it and improve the service life cycle. So then our business will get more improvement, okay, better. So initially, small company become a higher company. So depends upon different service kind of stuff. So that is the point of certain businesses still growing, continuously growing. There is a long-term survival kind of stuff that is there. You know, some business they will start today, after 6 months gone. After 1 year, no one knows what it is also. Some companies will grow faster and maybe more stably they will grow. Think like this, Godrej companies there, Tata's companies are there. They started so many years back, still stable. Godrej still going on, not very high returns of business, but still it is there is a stable organization. Some companies will grow sudden very fast and they'll go for a bankrupt immediately. Okay. So like this, so some business will go on in the market, some are struggle in the market. So that is things happened in very earlier days of IT industry. So when I start with IT service desk kind of stuff, that time I told no. So IT businesses and IT industry, okay, IT infrastructure management related, or maybe software deployment related, software development related, IT supporting related, any IT businesses, some are clicking, some are failures. Okay, some are having lot of struggle, some are luckily they saved, some are initially very good, but later it is down. So what is happening? So that is people started researching from a UK-based telecom industry. They started researching in that one, and they started ITL1, ITL2, then ITL3. They started giving suggestions to the IT organizations. Follow these steps, so then your business will become better and clear. Okay, so that kind of stuff. Failures, less failures. Proper framework is follow the this kind of framework. So then applicable framework. So then your business will be maybe better, and observations from it. Like so in ITL3, there is a 5 stages of ITL life cycles. Cycle strategy, design, transition, operation, and continual service improvement. Okay. And now ITL4 is the different function. This is the people who are giving this certification, ITL. I am done certification in 3, not in 4. Managing professionals, strategic leaders, extension modules, and so maybe this is a foundation. I have done this foundation part. Okay, so that's about ITL certification. Anybody can able to do ITL basic certification, even for a fresher. People who are working in a IT industry, so they can do it. Okay, so not required to show any certification, means not required any thing, but you have to learn a lot about ITL. So mainly it is very useful for service desk people, guys, because so every life cycle, every point in the ITL is that those things is very helpful in your organization and your career perspective. And immediately you don't need to do it if any chance of learning and doing that ITL certificates, you can go ahead. I'm not stopping that one. Okay. If someone offer, do you want to do any ITL certificate? We'll give you free training, and there is only have to pay for a certification only. Okay. So they will also guide for a certification. You can do it, guys. No problem. Okay. The problem is, so don't write ITL certificate without knowing about it, without having any knowledge. Don't write the ITL certificate. Any certificate, don't write any certificate without having any knowledge in it. At least get a 50 to 60% of knowledge about that kind of stuff, any certification. Then you can go for a next, whether any chance of writing a certificate, do it. Okay, that's my point. And it is very useful. Okay, guys, are you able to hear? I'm muted again. Disconnect.
No, sir, no. No, no. You are.
If I any chance, if I got a chance to explain that ideal part, so definitely I will try. Okay, I have a PPTs also there with IT. Okay, so first of all, we actually started with this what is a cloud computing part. Um, okay, what is the cloud computing? First, I will tell you one small definitions, guys. It's a delivery of computing services over the internet. What is a cloud? So delivering of a cloud computing services over internet. What are these services? Servers, storage, databases, networking, softwares, analytics, and intelligence. Cloud computing offers faster innovation, flexible resources, and economies of scale. Look at here. That that's the point. Guys, this is the basic definitions. Okay. What is a cloud computing? There is a cloud service provider organization, and either as a single user or an organizational level, I need a computing power. I need a server. I need a storage. I need a to run my applications. Okay. Or maybe like that, I need some network related services. So what I will do it, simply I will go to the cloud service provider. I will get that to my organization through internet, through internet. So this is what cloud computing, delivery of computing services for internet. Examples, servers are the services like a servers, storage, databases, networking, software, analytics, and intelligence. Okay. Uh, there is a few things about a cloud computing. This one also I will explain, guys. Before that one, I told guys, cloud computing is can be explained in a different ways. Different ways. So now I'm explaining one way. One way. It's like a benefits of cloud kind of stuff. Guys, look it. This is an application, right? So this is an application where I kept keeping my data. This is also an application. This is an application. And this is also an application. We think it is a website, but we are doing, so it is contains my information. It contains the data. It contains my progress report, right? How many courses I completed, how many courses still not completed. Okay. So it means how it is understands based on the background application. Simple to understand. Um, yes, a simple one example I will tell. I think a lot of people knows here because a lot of people gone through this full stack kind of stuff. Okay. So I'm an organization. I provide my organizational related services through the web. For example, I open a make my trip example. Okay. What is the make my trip? It is a website, right? But make my trip is an organization, not just a website. Normally, I want to book a ticket. So I have to go to the roadside, the travel managers are there, traveling companies. So I have to ask, like, I want to go to Delhi or I want to go to Bangalore. Okay. So then book my ticket. So he will ask, you want to go by bus, you want to go by train, you want to go by flight. Do you want to book any hotels? Yes. Then based on my requirement, I will tell I want to go by flight. I need a hotel room in this cost. So they will book it and they'll give a receipt. You have to go, right? So manually I have to go. Okay. Now what happened? So simply everything they kept in a one simple website. So I can able to query as per my requirements and I will book a ticket. I will transfer the money. Right? So it's a simple website. So I can do it from here. But how can I do it? This is my make my trip company. This is a client who opens the make my trip website. This is make my trip company. Guys, understanding anything or sleeping?
Yes, sir, understanding.
Yes, sir. Well defined.
This is make my trip company, but I open make my trip website. Make my trip company adds information as per their information. Like see, it is some introduce my visit, my travel offers, okay, some other things. They will have information. They will tell to the organization, or maybe they will build a website. But how we are getting a website to us is from web server. There is a web server. Okay? Either they will maintain or there's someone other one maintain. For example, think like this. Make my trip is maintaining. Okay, so without any confusion. So make my trip is an organization. So they develop this website. They'll put it in their web server. So we are getting this information from this web server, of course, through internet only. Okay, so we are getting this service, web service from web server. Web server contains web pages. So then we can able to access that web pages from the web server. Okay. But point is not just a single page, guys. So we are querying it. For example, I want to go from Pune to Bangalore on a 19th. So then I will search. So I'm giving some input. Okay. And giving some input, then I'm getting some kind of output here. how I'm getting. So there is an application which understands, there is an application which understands my input. So that input is taken by web server, give it to application. Application process my input. Okay. And ready say put that information into a page. That page will be delivered to me. Okay. To do this application part. So to do this process, in the process of application, it has to fetch the data, right? It has to fetch the data. This data, see flight from this time to this time, and this is the price, this is the timing. So what are the different other options are there? So it has to fetch the data based on my input and put it in this page. So where this data is there, guys? Where data stores? Anyone?
Database.
Very good. So there is a database servers like MySQL or Oracle SQL or any other database servers can be there. It has the information. It fetches the data from here, okay, and put the data in based on this application. Application means it do some process, right? Based on input, it fetch the data, put it in a one web page. The web page will be delivered to ours. For example, you book a ticket. So number of tickets will be reduced. That will be going to updated. Okay. So in backend process related things also there, how they will communicate, how they will generate events and all things like that. Now look at, so make my trip has to maintain a web servers, application servers, and database servers, and all together information has to store in the storage server. Okay. This the centralized storage, it has to store the any data, right? So they can use NAS type of storages based on their requirement, or SAN type of storages, they have to use it. And there is a connectivity between all these things. So means um, there is a network concept is also there, right? Networking means all together, all are connected, all are connected. So okay, these are all connected, but web server is face of public, but remaining is private. This is private. This is public. So web server must be in public connectivity, remaining in the private connectivity. So again, you have to maintain public and private connectivities. Okay, so this is just an application we are running, we are accessing, and an organization is maintaining this application. So what we are accessing, and then web servers, application servers, database servers, storage servers, and networking part, an organization is made. Either their self or maybe uh, by other organization, but we'll think make metric organization is maintaining this entire thing. Now we'll start calculating cost. Guys, understand this basic concept, how we are getting some
Yes,
information.
sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so full stack developer means front end developer means web server, HTML, CSS, JavaScript, that is comes under web server part, right? Front end part. Node.js, application, servlets, okay. Different frameworks we are using, that is application part. SQL, Oracle, this is a database part. Okay. So whatsoever it is, guys, what MyMetrip is doing is it start one web server, web server, take from one web server, you build a one web server. is if web server is down, what will happen? We can't access, right? Possibility, we can't access. First of all, MakeMeTrip has to buy all servers, server operating system, storage devices, applications also. The relevant applications. Sometimes some application freely we thought, but there is a supporting to that, right? So servers they have to buy operating system, that relevant application if required, then the storage devices. Okay, wide connectivity, and of course there is a public access means through internet. There's a lot of attacks happens. They have to provide a security. Okay, they have to provide network related security. Of course, people who are working there, unauthorized person also can go enter inside, right? So what is that? Physical securities, network securities, and people required to manage each and everything. Right? I'm a database engineer. I will manage only database, but database server managed by server engineer. Network is managed by network engineer, security managed by security engineer. So different people are working on this one. For that one, to manage that one, we need a different applications to monitor managing purpose. So what happened to the MakeMeTrip is they have to invest money on it, right? They have to buy. For buying, we call it as a capex, capital expenditure. Capital expenditure. They have to put more money on the purchasing these equipment, softwares, networking components, and they have to maintain. That is a operational expenditure. They need a space to put all this kind of stuff. Okay. So if companies benefited from it, they're maintaining capital expenditure, operational expenditure is getting good returns based on the public access or organizational access, they are getting good returns. Then no problem, not it's a huge difference. For example, you are having a bike. You are using bike regularly. You are going to college. You are going to office. So then there is a well expenditure. So I started coming by one scooter. Okay, from last 2 weeks, 3 weeks. My daily expenditure is little reduced. Daily expenditure is reduced. Okay, so maintenance cost is there, but still daily if I am coming by auto, it is too much cost for me. Okay, so that's what I'm trying to say is capital expenditure, operational expenditure. So we are have to reduce, or maybe if it is overcome by income, so then it is good. Sometimes not. Sometimes not. Okay. This is how the organization is maintained. Now, the company cannot able to bear everything. Capital expenditures is increasing. So why? Because if not a single web server is enough. So we have to put a 3, 4 web servers because one server is down, service is down, it is problem, right? So if server is down, still server has to be available. Okay, service has to be available. Think like this. This is my web server and it is providing a service. Okay, server is down means service is down. Problem or a number of people means weekend is occur like today is a Tuesday or Friday is a game. Then number of people are trying to book a tickets. A number of people trying to book a hotels, right? So what happened? More load on a single server. What I'm doing is I kept a multiple servers here. Okay. So in either way, If server is down, service is down, not there now. If server is down, no problem. Other servers are is ready to give us service. Okay, other servers can able to provide a service. So server down, service is available. One server is down, no problem. Other service provide giving a service means service, no problem. And load increases and load is distributing among these servers. Okay, load increases, so load is distributing among the servers. So obviously load shares. So that is called a load balancing. Load balancing. What is load balance, guys? Load is distributed among the given servers. What is failover or high availability? Okay, this failover or a high availability. What is failover or a high availability? It means if one of the server is down, no problem, other server is ready to give a service. Is giving, is not ready to give, it will give the service. This is also important for organization infrastructure management. Web servers, application server, database server, storages. Okay. Why we are using SAN, storage area network? Because of that redundancy. One disk is failure, no problem, other disk will give you a service. Once storage server is failure, no problem, other server will give you a service. Okay, guys, understand these two words?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So because of that one, obviously the capital expenditure increases and we have to maintain operational expenditure is increases. The company cannot able to do all these things. That too nowadays, lot of startup companies are came, so their investment is very less. They want to invest on the product, not based on the infrastructure. I cannot able to manage infrastructure. I have to buy infrastructure that is more headache. That is one headache, and I have to manage my infrastructure. It is double headache. The expenditures, people, so that then I'm putting more money on this one than other product. So what I want, what customer want? Customer want to open simply metric website, right? And he has to access the website and book the ticket, right? You want to simple to access the web application and do it, right? That is what customer want. What organization want? Customer has to get information and buy the tickets from us, get some commission, so we can able to run our organization successfully and give more options. Good application running, the options, applications, easy to work. Concentrate on that application part only, not maintaining the infrastructure part. Okay. So what this make me trip organization done? They move to the cloud. They move to the cloud. So I'm giving one scenario, guys. They move to the cloud. In a cloud, simply they want a server. For example, I'm giving an example from AWS. They want a server, so they'll create a instance, server instance called EC2. How much server requirement? They will create that server EC2 instance. what operating system is required, what server operating system required, what application they want it. So they will put that related application. Okay. One EC2. This is for web server purpose. Another EC2. Okay. So this is a web server. This is application server. And there is a database. Okay. So they go for RDS services. In that one, they take either MySQL service or Oracle SQL service based on their requirement. Of course, there is a connectivity, network connectivity is there. Storage is there. What type of storage they want it? They want a just a S3 bucket to store normal data, or maybe they will require a block storage kind of stuff, EBS kind of stuff, storage. Okay, and they can create a simple replicas, means load balancing between two web servers. It means I don't need to go to the server room here. Simply through internet I can access. I'll create another web server 2, web server 1, and make it as a load balancer between or failover in between. Same for all other things also. Okay. But I'm using the infrastructure, right? This is a server, means it is a machine. It has to run, means it consumes some computation thing, power and network related, storage related, it is consuming. So what I have to do, I have to pay as per I am using. That is called a pay as you go. I have to pay, make my trip is going to pay what is the infrastructure they are paying, they are using. They kept everything as a one single project, so they will concentrate on develop the project. Okay, coding. Security, it is already running in their AWS data centers. Obviously, they will take care of your security. They will invest to buy a servers. They will maintain the servers. The only thing is you have to remotely access through internet. And what are the requirements? We'll do it. We'll make a connectivity and we'll start developing, start deploying, and people will get a information from it. Okay. So this is one way of explaining basic use of cloud computing. Understand, guys? Are confused because of
Yes,
this?
sir.
Some people may confuse, guys. Why? Because of they may learn earlier differently. This is one way. Okay. So same statement it is. We are accessing servers, storage, databases, networking, softwares, analytics, and intelligence. So why cloud computing is cheaper to use? It's not even a cheaper, but it is having its own benefits, guys. Cloud computing delivery of computing services or internet by using pay as you go model. It means how much you are utilizing, that much you have to pay, right? So for example, you book a Uber and you travel to some place and you are going to pay. How much you are going to pay? You are not paying for how much per car, how much per driver. You are paying for how much you utilize. The same way, you are not paying for infrastructure, you are not paying for operation part. You are paying for how much you are utilizing. The payment cost is that much only you are paying. For example, I'm running a server. I run for 2 months. I pay for a 2 months that server, how much cost, that much only I will pay. Not required to pay after that one. Okay, I delete that server, automatically I need to pay. It lowers your operating cost, run your infrastructure more efficiently. So you need to worry about how much demand on the server you can able to scale up. That's third word I didn't use it. So guys, scale up, okay, and scale down. Cloud is a mainly two properties, guys. Okay, not only two, three properties are there. So that is yes, scaling, elasticity. Okay, scaling, elasticity. What is the scaling? In a scaling, two things: vertical scaling, horizontal scaling. What is vertical scaling? On my server, the demand is increasing. So for example, my server is 4 GB RAM, just or maybe a 8 GB RAM. Think like this is small. 4 GB is very small. 8 GB RAM and storage is 1 TB. Okay, and there is a processor CPU. Okay, two CPUs are there. Now people are I am getting lot of requests. Okay, so a lot of access kind of stuff. So process is increases, demand on the server is increases. So what I have done, increase my capacity. So how I increase this? Now this is become 4 CPU capacity. Okay, and
Excuse me, sir.
yeah, tell me.
Sir, what kind of processor do the server uses? Like it's multi-user,
Normally
single
from
user.
Intel we use Xenon processor, Xe
Okay.
servers.
So it's a single user processor, like single.
Yeah, it's in a server's motherboard, we have a multi processor sockets are there. You can add
Okay.
more CPUs in it. And even Xenon servers, different variations are there. 4 core CPUs, 8 core CPUs, 16 core CPUs, like that it is also. Okay.
So,
So I increase
thank
my
you.
server capacity, single server capacity called as scale up. Okay. Otherwise, I will add more servers instead of increasing a single server capacity and load balance in between. To scale up, what is this? Horizontal scaling. It's a vertical scaling. Scaling up means increasing. So in a vertical scaling, I increase my server capacity. Okay. In a horizontal scaling, I add more servers instead of increasing one single server. So what happened? The demand increases, load increases. The load is distributed between these servers. Okay, guys, this is called a scaling. In a physical servers, it's very difficult to scale up and down. Okay, it is difficult to scale up and down kind of stuff. Okay, so then we are using a virtual machine kind of stuff to increase the scale up and scale down of a individual servers, of course. So, of course, think like this, guys. Why I'm increasing my number of servers? If more demand increases, we need a more servers to balance the load, right? What about demand is less now? For example, morning 9:30 on my login server, it is more demand. At 9 o'clock, very less. At 10 o'clock, very less. After 10, very less. 9:22, 9:30, 9:40, the demand on the server is high. Okay. So when demand increases, I have to increase number of servers. When demand increases, I have to increase number of server to balance the load. If demand decreases, what to do? We can't remove the physical servers like that, right? But what to do? Because it's in a cloud, we are using these virtual servers, virtual machines we are using there. So there is a process called elasticity, means now only 3 servers are required, not 6 servers are not required. Then automatically remaining servers will be removed. Demand reduces, number of servers are less. Demand increases, number of servers increases. Demand reduces, number of servers reduces. Demand increases, number of servers increases. Okay, it is like a elastic band. You stretch more, bigger. You lose, smaller. Okay, you can stretch, you can contract, you can stretch this kind of stuff. It means it's called elasticity. The nature is called elasticity. So cloud computing has a elastic nature. Auto scaling, elasticity nature, scalabilities. These are the main some of the properties of a cloud computing. Other things also there. Guys, understand scaling and elasticity.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that points will come. So just I'm telling my side only. Lower your operational cost, run your infrastructure more efficiently, scale your business needs changes. Business needs it. For example, Amazon new product is launched, new mobile phone is launched, or a Flipkart new mobile phone is launched. So 15 minutes is the time. Like now, this is the time to you have to buy. People will log in, right? So sometimes freedom offers. So huge discounts for 2-3 days. Full demand on the servers. What is required? Scale up. Natural days, not much did, not required, not much demand. Scale down. Okay. To put it other way, cloud computing is a way to rent computer power and storage from someone else's data center. I am not able to maintain my data center. But what I'm doing is I take a rent, a compute power or storage power from others' data center is maintained by someone. For example, Amazon or Microsoft or maybe Google Cloud Platform kind of stuff. Okay. You can treat cloud resources like you could resource in your own data center. When you are done using them, you give them back. You are billed only for what you use. You build only for what you use. Instead of maintaining CPU storage in your data center, you rent for the time you need them. Cloud provider take care of maintaining underlying infrastructure for you. What is cloud provider is doing is maintaining infrastructure. Just I have to access and use it. Cloud enable you to quickly solve your tough business challenges, bringing cutting edge solution to your users. Okay. So what are my business challenges? What is my resources requirement, infrastructure requirement, application requirements, the backend application requirement, front end application, analysis requirements. So I no need to go to each and thing and installations and all. Earlier days, so there's always a big challenge to build a one server, installing an operating system and applications, securing your applications, issues resolving. This has become a very big challenge always for a organization to do it. But nowadays it is simple. You can go to the cloud and what requirements you want, what much storage you required, what application you required, Okay, its the application is available, go for it, configure it, and use. Okay, the underlying infrastructure requirements, the cloud computing or cloud service providers will manage that. As I said earlier, guys, what is the advantages of cloud? I said scalability and other things are like this now. So we'll go to that point. So that's what I'm trying to say. It is what are the some cloud computing advantages? High availabilities. It means as per organization, so make sure that client has to get a service always. Always it has to be available. Whether your server is down or something issue is there, but not client should has to get it. Okay, so in cloud, whenever you create a server or whenever you design a service from it, it makes sure that cloud service provider has to maintain that one and make sure it is always available to the customers, to the people to access. Okay, depends upon your service level agreement that you choose or your cloud-based apps can provide a continuous user experience with no apparent downtime when even when things go wrong. In our infrastructure management on our own, server is down, service will be down. Obviously, you have to maintain multiple servers to give a service to the customer side, right? But here it is not like that. It is always available. Make sure it is service provider is um, maintain the always available, no downtime. Okay, when things are wrong. Scalability, apps in the cloud can scale vertical and horizontally. Scale vertically to increase compute capacity by adding CPUs or RAMs to virtual machines. Scaling horizontally increase compute capacity by adding instance of resources, means adding more virtual machines. Okay, that is a scale. Elasticity, you can configure cloud-based apps to take advantage of auto scaling. So your apps always have a resources they need it. Okay. So auto scaling is a concept of this elasticity. So when demand increases, automatically this elastic nature increases your number of virtual machines or number of resources, it will increases, size increases, scale automatically, scale up automatically. Demand reduces. Demand is now not that much time as now, so automatically scale down. Okay. Agility. Agility. Deploy and configure cloud-based resources quickly as your app requirement changes. What is agility, guys? So currently, we are using in IT software development is a agile process. Olden days we use SDLC or a waterfall model. Now we are using agile model. What is agile model? Any requirement changed by client, immediately we can adapt and deploy a new change within a lesser time. Okay, so agility part means no need to worry about what is the infrastructure requirement or backbone requirement kind of stuff. Any application requirement changes required, just go and do all the development, testing, and deploy. So faster we can able to deploy it. This is another way to very important, guys. One is geo distributions. Geo distributions. What is geo distributions? or cloud computing part is distributed into different regions. Okay. In India, we have in a Mumbai, Hyderabad, Chennai. So we have regions for AWS and Microsoft Azure kind of stuff, right? So I kept my data center, my cloud data center in London, but world is bigger. Lot of people required. So obviously, the longer the distance, slowly loading kind of stuff. But what they have done, so to keep in mind about the demand on the cloud, so they distribute these things into the different regions. Okay, in a worldwide, a lot of regions having a and this kind of stuff. If I have, I don't have this picture, so I will show you this AWS regions. What is this regions part? So you can see different locations, different geographical locations, they put their data centers. Exactly say in this region is a combination of multiple availability zones. Multiple availability means each region, we see things like Oregon. This is Salt Lake City. This is Los Angeles. This is South Carolina. This is North Virginia. India, Mumbai. Okay, here it is Singapore, Jakarta, Delhi. I think Delhi is upcoming one. Okay, so what is this? Each region having a multiple data centers. One single region having a multiple data centers within that one. Those called as a availability zones. Means in a region there is a multiple availability zone. Each availability zones having a data centers. Okay, to reduce the latency. Okay, so that is geo distribution means I want to create a virtual machine in Indian region. I can do it. I want to create most of my customers are located in a North Virginia. So I will create in a North Virginia region only. I can access from anywhere, anytime like that. And we can do replica means we can put our one server in one region, another server in another region also we can do. Backup servers in another region, we can do it that one also. You can deploy apps and data to a regional data center around the globe, thereby ensuring that your customer always have a best performance in their region. Disaster recovery. By taking advantage of cloud computing backup services, data replications, geo distributions, you can deploy your apps with the confidence that comes from knowing that your data is safe in this event of disaster. Look at here, guys. Normally, when you comes with a backup and disaster recovery, you have a system. In system, you have a data. For example, you have a server, you have a data in it. As an example of our earlier example, make my trip example kind of stuff. We have a data, but data is, there is a possibility of disaster. So what we do, we take a backup and store in a location. Both are in a same physical location. Think like this. Both are in the same system, very dangerous. System is down, both will be down. Okay. But better to store in a separate location, right? Separate device. But both are in the same physical location. So what will happen? Fire accidents, earthquakes, floods. So geographical issues will occur. So what will happen? Even you have a backup, no longer useful. So what we will do? We kept our data. Either it is a backup or replica. We will put it in a different geographical locations. Either you take a backup, store backup in our location as well as a other different geographical location will keep it. For example, Hyderabad. In Hyderabad, I have a data center. That we have a data in Hyderabad. So that data will kept in, for example, Singapore, maybe in a South Africa, I mean maybe in a Dubai. I kept in different geographical locations, not only in my data center. For example, in my data centers, there is an applications are running, servers are running. What I will do it, same servers I will run it from in a replica servers I will run it from in another data center which is located in different geographical location. What is the advantage? Sometimes any geographical region issues will occur. Wars can be occurs, floods can be occur, earthquakes can be occurs. Destruction means like a building is collapsed. Okay, so your data, your information, your services will be down. So what you will do? So better to keep it in a separate location. Okay, either it is a backup or it can be running services or it can be your machines, their replica you can put it. So that is the case. Okay, so in a cloud, it is also having that property. So by taking advantage of cloud-based backup services, data replication, geo distribution, you can deploy your apps with the confidence that comes from knowing that your data is safe in event of disaster. So that's why we have a different regions and different availability zones. You can keep your data, you can keep your machines, you kept your applications in different availability zones or different regions in a replica place. Okay, somewhat understand. You know, there is an organization called IBM.
Yes,
So
sir.
many years back, means almost like a 90s time. Okay, IBM came to India. That time, Rajiv Gandhi is a prime minister. Okay, IBM came to India. So IBM has data centers in US and Australia kind of countries. Okay, so what happened? And they has a doubt that anything is happened like a war or a floods and all. In US, once flood is there, it's very difficult to recover. Okay, so anything can be geographically disaster occurs, possibilities are there. So they will try to find in the world where is the better location. They find one location called Hyderabad. They tested with a thing. So it is not connected to any oceans or a sea kind of stuff. So attacks are very less. And of course, other disaster kind of stuff. It is not even a central kind of stuff. I mean, someone put a bomb in it kind of stuff. But of course, a lot of bomb attacks also happen. Okay, terrorist attacks happen, but still, it's not even not a country financial state, not a financial part, not a capital of city. So obviously, there is a lot of land in the Hyderabad. Okay, and good employment is available. Means a lot of engineers are available. In 90s itself, they put it. They consult a prime minister. So we want this location to put our data centers. So he selected two, three locations, but that time Rajiv Gandhi called the chief minister of Andhra Pradesh that time. Okay, so he given this location Hyderabad. They are one of the suitable location in India is Hyderabad. So better to take it. So Hyderabad will grow next in the IT hub. That much of visionary people are there in those times. So now Hyderabad is one of the big IT hub. It's just IBM's data center, data replication, geo replication part. Okay. Guys, I'm telling it is look like a little bigger one. I can tell very simple one also, but understand other things from it. Because certain words is very useful when you are next time you are learning anything about a cloud computing. Cloud service provider operates on a consumption-based model, which means end user only pay for resources they use it, whatever they use, what they pay for. Consumption-based model has many benefits, including no upfront cost. Already I told no capital expenditure. You need to pay. You need to buy. You need to pay for buying any equipment like a networking related or a server related, storage related. Okay? You need to buy anything. No upfront cost. No need to purchase and manage costly infrastructure that users might not use to its fullest. You don't need to buy and maintain any costly equipment. Okay, so now normal server, normal desktops or laptops, we are maintaining, right? But server is having lot of things to maintain that infrastructure. The ability to pay for additional resources when they are needed. Okay, so use more resources or additional resources, then cost will be increases. For example, you book a Uber from one place to another place, but you required more additional things. You want to go for some other place also. The cost increases, you have to pay. Your econ ability means the cost, it will tell you how much the bill next time. Last time, one of our sir gave me one task that is migration of database. So I tried it. So then I planned another thing. So I created database in my laptop and upload into S3 bucket. Okay. So actually, what I have to do it, there is a Amazon AWS RDS service. This is MySQL in laptop. In my laptop, I have to install MySQL. I have to create some database. I have to upload database to it. Okay, I have to upload from here to remote database. This is the task I got it. So I tried and I didn't get able to connect. So what I have done in AWS, I have taken S3 bucket. I uploaded this database file to S3 bucket, S3 bucket to this RDS. I tried that one. So there is an option is there. So when I'm doing it, it is telling this is the cost if you want to export from S3 to, you want to restore your database from S3 to RDS MySQL service. There is a cost. It immediately showing. So immediately I canceled it. Okay. This is no cost. This is no cost. There's no additional money. This is no cost, but it has to pay. So obviously you can understand what to pay, what to not to pay, how long you can pay, how long you not to pay. So I done some networking related. So it's immediately I stop after some time we done a practical, we taken a break and we done. So what happened? So next day I checked it. They put me some cost on it. So point $0.09 plus $0.02 as a tax on it. 0.11 I have to pay. Maybe I have to pay next time. So I have to check it once more. Have opened 3-4 days back on. So almost 1 week. Okay. So what happened? So I immediately delete my instances. Immediately deleted my Elastic IP kind of configurations, all networking related NAT gateways and all deleted. Because once I removed it, it's I no longer pay. Okay. So if I required, compulsory have to continue. If I'm not required, I will do it. Stop using it. If you stop using it, you don't need to pay. So ability to pay for additional resources when they require to you, when they are needed, or ability to stop paying for resources that no longer required. You use it, you pay. You don't use it, don't need to pay. Okay, you can do that one. So that is the main consumption model, guys. No upfront cash, no need to purchase and manage any costly infrastructure on your own. Okay, so you can see how much payment for each and every service, and as per your requirement, you can use it and you have pay for that one. If not required, then no longer you don't required. You need to pay for them. Simply stop using and delete it. Okay. You guys understand somewhat?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
I taken little lengthy class. Usually I will finish in 15-20 minutes or max half an hour, but just trying to give information. Guys, here it is. Cloud models are different cloud deployments kind of stuff. Cloud deployments or models of a cloud. Okay. So when it is come to the cloud, guys, two things. One is deployment models. Another one is service models. This is deployment models. So here it is public cloud, private cloud, hybrid cloud. Three things are there. What is meant by public cloud? It is meant by public. So point is, I anybody can give an example for a public cloud. Okay, no problem. Simple thing is, guys,
Google Drive.
Google Drive, very good. Google Drive, OneDrive. Okay. Because anybody, anytime, anywhere, people can access. That is called a public.
Microsoft Azure is also the example of public
Very
cloud.
good. Microsoft Azure, AWS, GCP, these are all public cloud examples. Very good, guys. Okay. So earlier days, I tell this example to make people understand. Simply, if you go to shopping mall, someone build a building. Someone build a that shopping mall building, right? The mall building, build. What they will do it? They'll rent a space in the building. So there is a FBB came. So there were Max came, or Lenskart came, or maybe that is no one this Bata came, PVR came. So what they will do? Kamal watches. So what they will do? They will give a space rent. So the building person build it, maintenance means he put a expenditure on a building construction and operating the building. Other people come and pay for a rent for what the space they are using. So the person who is maintaining the building and constructed the building is getting money from people who are using that building. Okay. And for example, Max is there. Max cloth showroom is there. Max is getting a business from people, customers. And Max is paying rent to the building maintenance person, right? Right. So this is like a public cloud. Private cloud, for example, you went to a DMart. In generally, most of the DMarts are own buildings only. Okay, shopping, one certain shopping things like a Kalyan jewelries kind of stuff. You go certain places like the entire building is belongs to the same, like a DMart building is built, owned, maintained by DMart only. How they are getting a business? They are getting money from customers directly. People comes buy groceries, so they are getting money. So they are maintaining this building based on the customers. And both side it is a building only. Okay, but how they are doing a business? This is an example usually I told, but here it is again. I build a infrastructure. I have data centers, I have networking, application running, storage, everything. I put a capital expenditure on it, operating expenditure on it. Now I let others, means clients, can use my resources. They can use my infrastructure resources, platform resources, software resources, storage resources. They can use it. Okay, just as you said, very good. That is AWS, Azure, Google Cloud Platform. Okay, what they providing? They provide a service to the different organizations or different people. So they use AWS services or Azure services and pay for what they use it. So any person or any organization can use the services from the public cloud. Coming to the private cloud used by same organization. So my organization build a one data center, put a capital expenditures, operating expenditures. So I maintaining my infrastructure on my own, and I'm utilizing these services for my organization purpose only. Okay, for my organization only. So for example, as I said earlier example, that is make my trade managing all his infrastructure in their data centers. That is called a on-premises data center. On-premises. What is on-premises? Means organization build their own data centers, utilize it for their organization only. On-premises. It's not outside. To access the on-premises, simply have to log in as a local. Means within a LAN you can access it. That is on-premises. Guys, on-premises data cloud, little difference is there. On-premises data center to private cloud, there is a difference. On-premises data center means I build a data center and I'm maintaining data center, and my users, my people are using, means I am managing the data center. That's it. Private cloud means, it's actually cloud means the user himself can access directly to the cloud infrastructure. Okay, either it is public or private. So we are giving users certain rights to access the infrastructure from it. Like very simple to say, you have a Gmail account. Okay, you have a Gmail account. To create a Gmail account, okay, you have a Gmail account. To create a Gmail account, are you going to Gmail servers, or we are accessing from simply web, right? So same way, cloud computing is also simply you can access through a web interface. So you need to go to administrator to ask an account. For example, my company account is there, Savantis.com account is there. I want a new email account. So I have to go to my server administrator. I have to ask, please give me create a one email account. Okay. So that is called, I have to ask administrator to create a new account. Okay. For Gmail account, I no need to ask it. Simply I will go and create it myself. So cloud is like a self-service type. Means simply open the portal, log in, use it. That is a cloud. Okay, that's the difference between data center to the cloud. In a data center, you need to access a virtual machine. You want to access a server, storage. you have to ask a administrator to allow you to access. In a cloud, it is not like that. You'll simply get a portal, what are you are available, so then you can access directly. Okay. Yes, again, private cloud is self-built by organization itself, used by its own organization. Hybrid, I will tell again. I will tell you. Services that are offered over public internet and available to everyone who want to purchase them. Cloud resources such as a server storage are owned and operated by a third-party cloud service provider delivered over the internet. Cloud resources such as server storage are owned and operated by third-party cloud service providers and delivered over the internet. So we are accessing through. Private cloud consists of cloud computing resources used extensively by users from one business or one organization only. Same organization. Private cloud can physically located at your organization on-site on-premises data center. It can be hosted by third-party service providers. What is this hybrid? What is the hybrid kind of stuff, guys? I have my own private cloud. I'm utilizing for my organization. It is well enough. The problem is I got a new project or a new requirement for a project. So my existing infrastructure is not enough. Then what I have to do? So I will go to the public cloud because I need it for a certain period of time only. So I don't need to increase my private infrastructure. So simply I will go to the public cloud. So I will mix my private cloud to public cloud. So then my infrastructure size will be expanded for a certain period of time. Okay. So this is called a hybrid cloud. Hybrid cloud is a computing environment that combines public and private cloud by allowing data and allocation to the share between them. Guys, understand public, private?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Sir, can you please give one example for the hybrid cloud?
Example, organization is not here. Organization wise, yeah, that is an example. What? Mm, General example, I cannot tell because yeah, generally community cloud, we have an example, hybrid cloud. We have an example also. So private cloud, so generally take one example like I am using a private cloud. So how to create a private cloud first you have to think. Guys, what is meant by private cloud? I have a machines, my servers are there, data centers. So first important to the cloud computing is virtualization. Virtualize the environment using VMware, vSphere kind of stuff, or Microsoft SCVM kind of stuff, or Hyper-V environments. Okay, virtualization environment. And this one we have running a virtual machine. So this has become new, not a new concept, but I didn't start explaining from this end. Okay. Yeah. So, for example, I want to build my own private cloud. So what I will do it, I will take a servers and install first ESXi from, I'm telling in VMware perspective, guys. Different tools, different type of outputs. VMware is an organization. I'm using ESXi to make a server as a virtual server. I run a virtual machines in it. To manage these virtual machines, I need a controller called a vCenter. Okay. And these vCenter on top of it, I use a cloud platform, private cloud platform, like a OpenStack is a open source cloud platform. Okay. Or a vCloud directory from VMware. Like this is the cloud platform. Means users, means people working in my organization can access through this server. They will manage this virtual machine storage application. They can get it. Okay. This is a cloud. So what I will do it, I need a hybrid. It means it is Azure or AWS. So certain process has to run here. Certain process has to run here in the cloud. So what I will do, I'll put a link in between these two things. This is a on-premises resources. This is my on-premises resources. This is the cloud resources I told. So they will connect and communicate through network internet. So we'll get a mixture of output kind of stuff. Means I have a database server in my private cloud, in on-premises server. But in AWS, there is a analysis tool. Okay, there is a data analysis tool is there. Okay, so I will connect there. I will analyze from it. For example, okay, you know, Salesforce CRM tools are there. So that is also like that. You have an on-premises server from there to here also we can able to connect it. So it is like a hybrid cloud. Okay. So private cloud, public cloud, no capital expenditure to scale up. Application can be quickly provisioned and deprovisioned as per your requirement. Organization will only pay for what they are using. That is a private public cloud. Private hardware must be purchased from the startup and maintenance. So organization has to purchase all hardware requirements. Organization have a complete control over resources and security. Organizations have a complete control over resources and security. Organizations are responsible for a hardware maintenance and updates. Organizations have a complete control over resources and security. Okay, it's not like that. So in a public cloud, there are providing means we have to paying for what they are providing. There is a limitation, somewhat as your payment limitations there. Here it is your organization providing services to your organization, and your organization is controlling their resources. Okay, who can able to access, who cannot able to access everything is private cloud people will decide. Organizations are responsible for hardware maintenance and updates. Means you are purchasing it, you are maintaining it, you are expenditure is on it, and you are controlling it. That is called a private cloud. Hybrid is provided most flexible. Organization determines where to run their application. They want to run on premises or maybe in a cloud. So the organization is doing it, not a cloud manager people. So the private cloud people will decide. Organization control security, compliance, and legal requirements. When you go for hybrid cloud, means you are using a public cloud with your private, but private cloud has a authority on the cloud usage. Okay, very big story, but story is not completed. Don't worry, guys. Don't. It has become single class entity, so it's 12:30. Guys, cloud services models. Actually, I want to tell Office 365. What are the cloud service models? Platform as a service, infrastructure as a service, software as a service is where it comes under cloud access service. These models define different level of shared responsibility that cloud provider and a cloud tenant are responsible for. Infrastructure as a service, platform as a service, software as a service. Okay. What is infrastructure as a service? It is a cloud service platform. So here it is, for example, AWS or some private cloud or public cloud, whatever it is. So infrastructure. I need to run a application. So I need a virtual machine. I need to run an application. So then I want a virtual machine, EC2 instance. So what I will do, I'll go to the AWS cloud and create a one instance. And it is giving a computational power, right? Means how many number of CPUs. For example, I want two CPUs, 4 GB RAM, okay, 100 GB hard disk. That is my requirement. This is infrastructure I am getting. Storage. I want to store data. I want to run a database. Oh, sorry, that's not comes under here. The infrastructure is required to run my application. So then I want this one. This is called infrastructure as a service. This cloud service model is the closest to managing physical servers. The cloud provider will keep the hardware up to date, but operating system maintenance network configuration is up to you as a cloud tenant. So you are a tenant, so it means you are using a cloud and you go for a infrastructure as a service. What the provider is doing is giving a machine to you. Machine background hardware maintenance is done is taken care by cloud service provider, but internal operating system, internal applications, and internal services has to be managed by user only. For example, Azure virtual machines are fully operational virtual compute device running in a Microsoft data center. An advantage of this cloud service model is rapid development of new computing devices, setting up new virtual machines considerably faster, procuring, installing, and configuring. Yes, to run certain things, you need a physical server. What you do, go to Azure, AWS, and all. So with your requirements, for example, you need a 16 GB RAM server and 2 terabytes of storage space. You need a 4-core processor, is a 4 CPU kind of stuff is required. Go to the cloud, pay as your requirement, of course, after usage only. Okay. So take a machine, you create, you ask what machine you require, you build it and you will get it. Okay. But what operating system, internal operating system maintenance, applications you install inside, management, network connectivity that user has to manage. This is the diagram you can see. On premises or a cloud, private cloud or a on premises thing is organized has to maintain storage, networking, compute, virtual machine, operating system, runtimes, application and data access. But infrastructure as a service, service providers maintain about your storages, networking and compute. And you have to maintain your virtual machine, your requirements for your virtual machines and internal operating system inside runtimes, application, data access. You have to maintain these things as a client or tenant. Platform as a service, the service provider will maintain up to runtime. The only thing is you have to access your application, you have to build your applications, and how to access that one, you can do it. For example, in an infrastructure as a service, you have to define what servers you required, okay, and what services you have to run, okay, all these things you have to define, what network connectivity is required. So you have to define it. In a platform as a service, you will concentrate on developing your application and your services part. What is the backend server it is, how much server requirements, what is the network connectivities, you don't mind about because it is automatically runs. You are concentrate on your application, application performance, application building, deployment, services part of it. Not infrastructure. You don't maintain any infrastructure related. Software as a service, simply you access the service. That's it. Okay. For example, I'm accessing a document. See, I'm accessing a document. Simply, I am accessing a document. That's it. I don't mind about how this document running, how much resources it is utilizing. I don't mind. Just I'm accessing that application. Okay. Software as a service. This Google Docs is nothing but a software as a service. Office 365 is nothing but a software as a service. We are not in that part, right? This service model is a managing hosting environment. Service provider manages backend your virtual machines, network resources, and the cloud tenant deploy their application into managed hosting services. For example, Azure App Services or AWS EBS means Elastic Beanstalk. Also do this one, Elastic Beanstalk from the AWS, and Azure App Services provide managing host environment. Therefore, developer can upload their web applications without having worried about a physical hardware and software requirements. Okay. So you don't need to worry about what is the background requirement. For example, guys, um, maybe you know, no, don't know, but backend foreground I told now. So like this. To build a web server, you must know how to install a web server application. Okay. So NGINX or Apache HTTPD or maybe Microsoft IIS, you must know how to install a web server application in the one EC2 instance. In application server, you must know how to configure this Tomcat server or so many are there. Middleware servers are there, no? WebLogic server kind of stuff. Okay, you must know how to configure this Tomcat or anything. You must know how to install a web applications. Sorry. Database application, MySQL server, how to install a MySQL server, how to install Oracle SQL servers, how to configure storage, how to configure network in between, how to call the application from application to database, like that, how to fetch data from database to application. So these are background things you have to do it. But you're a developer, you don't know it, right? If I install a Java in the laptop, so you can program it, but you don't require to know how to install a Java, what are the requirements to install a Java, what is operating system requirement, background requirement. You don't know, but you know the how to program it, how to test it, how to build a code, how to deploy a code, you know it. So you will concentrate on it, not in the background infrastructure. So platform as a service is providing that one. Okay. Yeah. So in this cloud service model, so in a software as a service, the cloud provider manages all aspects of application environment, such as virtual machines, networking resources, data storage, and application. The cloud tenant only need to provide their data to the application managed by cloud provider. Okay. The cloud provider manages all aspects of application environment. Means background virtual machines, networking, data, storage, even the application is also maintained by service provider. Only thing is you have to access the service. The tenant only need to provide their data to application managed by cloud service provider. For example, Office 365 provide fully working version of Office 360, Office Microsoft Office that runs in the cloud. All you need to do is create your content and Office 365 is take care of everything. Of course, guys, I will tell about Office 365 in a not today, maybe. But yeah.
The second is completed is not my attendance of this.
I didn't given a break.
Sir, Lavanya also present. Lavanya.
Sir, Monokumar sir.
Devesh, Lavanya here. Pradyuman. Shaki Bhagavan.
Yes.
Okay. I didn't given a break, guys. So once I completed this part, okay, so we'll take a day for today because I didn't think so. I will take this much time. It's 40-50 minutes maximum 1 hour class. Okay. This illustration based on the Azure cloud, guys. You can see infrastructure as a service comes under servers, storage, networking, firewall, security, physical data center and building. This is completely comes under infrastructure as a service. Operating machines, operating system, deployment tools, database management, business analytics, this direct access. You can see this part comes under platform as a service. So platform as a service. So you need to maintain this background things. Simply, you can deploy an application, you can manage your databases. So if, for example, I want to create a database server. So first of all, to take a server, install an operating system. Okay. So look at here. I want to create a database server. Now I have to install a server. First of all, need a server hardware. I must know what is my server hardware, how much hardware requirement. Then what type of operating system is required, Linux or Windows Server operating system, and database application, database related application, MySQL or Oracle SQL or Microsoft SQL Server, have to install it. Then connectivity, network connectivity. Okay, is a public network access or private access? I have to define. Okay, these are all many things I have to do it on my own. So again, here I have to manage the server, manage operating system, and manage an application. But what I will do, I'll go to AWS or Azure or direct Oracle. I'll go to the RDS service, login, go to RDS service. Okay, what type of instance I required? SQL, MySQL or Oracle SQL or MS Microsoft SQL Server. Which one I want it, or Aurora? I'll take that one server. For example, I want a MySQL server. I'll take the service. I start creating database instance in it. In this one, I'll create a database instance. In that one, I'll create a tables. So I didn't create any server. I didn't install any operating system. I didn't define any network model. Network model again, guys, is it internally I'm using or publicly I want to access? Then I have to define that. So this is what platform as a service or what is meant by what exactly a cloud computing is. So user side, administrative side, the burden will be reduces. Software as a service, you don't need to worry about what operating system it is running, what servers hardware it is running, what type of storage it is maintaining, what platform it is running. Also, you don't worry. Just access the application part. This is certain differences between this cloud service models kind of stuff, guys. Okay, you can write, and I want to go for this one. Okay, I already explained this one. That's why I just taking the last part as you are saying. Okay. So different cloud service providers are there. Private cloud platforms are there. Public cloud kind of stuff is also. Okay. So public cloud, you can take AWS from my Amazon. Okay. Google Cloud Platform, Oracle infrastructure, Oracle Cloud infrastructure. IBM Cloud is also providing from IBM. What digital versions, super version, digital kind of stuff. This is direct cloud, public cloud. Means what platform they are using, we don't know, but we are able to access direct cloud services from it. Private cloud comes to the private cloud is private cloud has to build, guys, not a direct installation of application, then it become private cloud. It is not like that. From the virtualization part, means server virtualization, application virtualization, network virtualization, from the virtualization and centralized control and user access platform. So building of these three layers, it is become a one private cloud. We can use the tools from different type of organizations. VMware is providing vSphere or ESXi for a virtualization server. VApps. One second. Just guys, 2 minutes. Okay, I'm back. Just we'll finish it, guys. We'll take it day to day. Okay. So why we should stop in middle? That's why I'm continuing it. Okay. You want to build with the Microsoft technologies like for a server virtualization purpose, Hyper-V, and managing this virtualization server with SCVMM, accessing through web access your infrastructure as a cloud. Okay, so then it is system center, app controller kind of stuff for data protecting data purpose, data protection management, and all we use it. In Citrix, Zen servers, Zen cloud kind of platforms are there. Not only these guys, it is a three-layer structure. It is first is virtualization, then centralized access, and cloud access means web access, cloud platform through cloud platform accessing our infrastructure. Okay, so private cloud is built by different tools, okay, by different organizations giving that one. Public clouds directly we are accessing. We don't worry about how to build a cloud kind of stuff. Small points are given here, guys, just for our names. So do you want to learn about any cloud? So first know about a cloud related domains. Compute domain is about your virtual machines kind of stuff. Okay, so Azure virtual machines, EC2, networking is also not a point, but it is this storage and all will comes under that. Okay. So mainly easy to back instances related. RDS is RDS is a database related services like from cloud you are getting MySQL, Oracle SQL, MS SQL, MariaDB, Aurora kind of stuff. No SQL services. Okay, means relational database management. No relational database means okay structured query kind of no SQL kind of stuff. We are getting like a DynamoDB, Cosmos DBs kind of stuff. Different type of storage services you are getting S3, EBS, blob or a backup kind of services you are getting. Network related route 53 is like a DNS type of services. VPC, network related services, cloud front services, direct connecting services we are getting. Okay. Messaging system, simple queue system it is there, queuing and notification system it is. Okay, so queuing means a process, they put a process into one by one, like a queue system follow. Okay, notification means notifying the users through email or a telephone. So that's new deployment is ready kind of stuff. Notification system. Okay, or a user notification kind of stuff. Okay, security, identity, and compliance, IAM and KMS kind of stuff. Managing users, roles, groups, and access management. Also, we do it in the security and identity compliances. You may get a doubt, sir. How should we know all these kind of names at least? Learning is okay, but learning so many things are there. But how to learn these things? Very simple, guys. Go to AWS console kind of stuff. Don't go to AWS console. There's the learning parts also, so many are there. No, don't learn this ECA, X, vCenter, vSphere. It is virtualization platform, guys. These are all virtualization platform. You want to learn cloud only. But you want to learn virtualization related, also you can learn. Okay. So if it is AWS, go for it and see this. So many are giving. Go to compute. See what are the compute services. Amazon EC2 services, EC2 auto scaling, light sail, app runner, batch, elastic beanstalk. Okay. Lambda functions. These are also comes under here. It is. Database services, Aurora serverless V2, new one it is. Document DB, I don't know that's what it's. DynamoDB, Elastic Cache, Keyspace, some Neptune, so many new things are coming to market. Okay, direct developer tools we are getting. Other domains, it's a content delivery, networking content, VPC, latest Route 30, Route 53, Cloud Front, Cloud WAN kind of stuff. It is direct connect. security and compliance management, IAM, okay, and Cognito, firewall manager is given, okay, key management services, directory services, Active Directory services newly introduced here. Okay, good. That one is also okay. Storage, again, storage, EC2, Elastic block, S3, block storage, file system kind of stuff, Elastic file system kind of stuff, backup related services. See, at least to list the names you learn. But you want to learn, like you can see, learning what is a cloud computing and other things. And also, this is tutorials, hands-on tutorials, fundamentals, and all. We can get it. Free training, find AWS training. Also, will give you training. A specific guideline also, we will get it from this one. Even Azure is also same thing. So you go to Azure portal. Don't log in for Azure, guys. Just open the Azure portal. Okay, it is telling login. Don't time to log in anything. So you can see Azure virtual machine. There it is EC2. It is virtual machine. There it is SQL database. Here it is bulk storage, Cosmos DB, Lambda function. There it is Azure functions, app services like a EVS type. Okay, event grid kind of stuff. Okay, so you have to go through, read properly and to take it. But first learn, then practice. Because it's a cloud, it's a time limitations are there for a thing. So even myself in December or somewhere, I created Azure account, AWS account, still not completing all practices. Okay, first learning and then practice is in a cloud. And question is here it is about a virtualization platform. You have to learn nothing like that. It is what is virtualization is and different type of virtualizations are enough for you. There is some examples of this kind of stuff. Okay. For example, guys, what is an example for a software as a service?
Antivirus and all.
Salesforce. Salesforce is a CRM tool. Dynamic 365 is also CRM means customer relationship management software. It is Zira also in a nowadays it is SaaS type of application. Software as a service means cloud service provider runs the software. Just we are accessing it. We are giving our inputs to then we are using. Office 365, Dynamics 365, Google Docs, ServiceNow.
Excuse me.
Yeah, tell me them.
Sir, like SaaS should be necessarily cloud or it should not?
SaaS is a cloud,
Software as a service, right, sir?
software as a service.
Mm.
So this is Office 365. This is software as a service from the Microsoft. Okay, so Microsoft 365 name change. So I can access these services from anywhere, anytime. Okay, any device also now. For example, I want to access my Outlook or a OneDrive, Excel, PowerPoint, SharePoint, Word, Teams, MR, Streams. These are all I can access from this device through the web browser. I can access through offline tool. I can access from my mobile phone also. Okay, it depends upon its supporting kind of stuff, guys. Simply it is. So you don't need to compulsory and how to install in your PC, how to maintain a local server. it is not required. So cloud service provider is running your server, running your applications in it. Okay, and you just simply are accessing it and use it. That is the point of software as a service. Simply are accessing an application. Even you don't build an application, you don't require to know what platform it is, what virtual machines or what network they are using. You don't. You take it and use it. Platform as a service. It is the background platform to build an application or run an application. Platform as a service provide that one. For example, I want to build an application. I need a front-end server, back-end database system, application support like a Lambda services, kind of stuff, or maybe to build an application. So I don't want to worry about my how to build an application kind of stuff. So this is a platform as a service. Okay. I have an application. I want to connect it to a database. So again, I need to build a database server. Simply go to the platform as a service, take a database service from it and connect it and use it. Infrastructure as a services, actually it is compute related, storage is storage related thing. Guys, one important point is always remember, guys, when you got a question, what is a cloud? Never say cloud is a storage. I'm telling again, do not say cloud is a storage. That is compulsory wrong. It's 100% wrong sentence. Guys, cloud means there is several type of services are there. Storage is the one of them. Storage services, infrastructure services, platform services, software services, database services if you want to add it. Cloud providing different type of services. One of the services is storage. I don't know why backwardsly people are lectures mainly. I don't understand. Even they don't where they're getting that information. I don't understand. Cloud is not storage. Okay. OneDrive, Google Drive, also cloud storage services. iCloud directories is a iCloud is a storage. So cloud storage means I store data in the cloud platform, cloud's location. We don't worry about what is the backend, but we can access the data from anywhere, anytime, any device kind of stuff. But one of the clouds services storage, not only storage, and also there is several services also there. Okay, so that's to keep in mind, guys. Yeah. Just these questions just asked by this Microsoft part only, and I kept here. Which of the following is not the cloud computing category? So you'll see this one. Software as a service is a cloud category. Infrastructure as a service, platform as a service. These are cloud categories. Which one is not a cloud category? Networking as a service. Anybody try this one? Which of the following statement is true? With operating expenditure, you are responsible for purchasing and maintaining your computing resources. You don't buy, right? So operational expenditure for maintaining, not for purchasing. With operating expenditure, you only responsible for computing resources that you use. Yes, that is the thing. But we have to check it this one statement also. With a capital expenditure, you are responsible for computing resources that you use. No, capital expenditure to buy, operating expenditure to manage your usage. So this is the correct answer. I am telling you everything. Which one of the following option is not the type of cloud computing? Private, public, hybrid. What is distributed cloud? That is not that. There is not a type of cloud computing. Which of the following is the benefits of using cloud services? Scalability, disaster recovery, high availability, geographic isolation. Geographically, distribution is there. Geographical distribution is there, not isolation. But it is a scalable. Disaster recovery is there. High availability is also there in a cloud. But geographic isolation is not there. Okay, yeah. This is not required. But if in case in future I want to go run this one links for linking's purpose, get right. Okay. Summary of this module. And other module is there. Learn more is good. Just I given information whatever I stored here. Okay, I reduced a lot of things. Now I given complete part. That's why it is taken almost like a 2 hours, more than 2 hours. Okay, guys. Just I will give you RU if you are saying you are alive. So no need to read everything. Simple points first. Go through it. Okay, ready? Just I need a 5 minutes time. Then we can close. First question is, what is cloud computing? Remember this interview point or you are telling. So not everything you cannot read, you cannot remember sometimes. You will read it later. Okay. So can you able to hear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So,
Yeah, give an answer. Okay. What is the cloud computing? First question. So delivery of cloud, delivering computing services over the internet. Services like a server storage, database, networking, software, analytics, and intelligence. At least server storage, data bases, networking, and software kind of stuff. Cloud computing after faster innovations, flexible resources, economy of scale. Again, what is the cloud computing? Another statement is cloud computing is a delivery of computing services over internet. Delivering of computing services over internet by using pay-as-you-go service price model. Means how much you are utilizing, that much you are going to pay. Okay. So cloud computing lowers your operational cost and capital expenditure, of course. Run your infrastructure more efficiently, scale your business as per your requirement. That's it. Advantage of scale. Cloud computing, high availability, scalability, elasticity, agility, geo distributions, and disaster recovery. What is advantages? High availability, services always available. Scalability, you can increase and decrease, automate, increase as per your requirement, infrastructure requirement, you can increase kind of stuff. Scalability, so it is increase and as well as a decrease, auto scaling feature of cloud. Agility, as per developer requirements in our time, as per the client requirement, we can easily deploy the his requirements through the cloud. Okay, geo distribution, not a one single place, guys. In the worldwide, in a geographically, our data centers in the regions, it is there globally. It is the region wise. It is distributed. Disaster recovery. So no need to worry about your application. It is we can distribute into the different geographical location. So even some disaster occurs, your application and your data is safe. Okay. What are the other benefits? No upfront cost, no need to purchase very costly equipment, no need to maintain this costly kind of stuff also. Whatever you are using, you have to pay. If no longer required, you can stop paying for that one. Cloud has mainly three models, plus one model is there. The plus one is not here. Okay, mainly it is stamped one is from, this is from Azure guys, so I'm giving that information. Public cloud, private cloud, and hybrid cloud. In certain places, the people say it's a community cloud is there, but here it is three: public cloud, private, and hybrid. Public cloud, a single user or an organization can access the public cloud services as per their use. They have to pay for a service. Private cloud is used for their organization purpose only. The people service provider and user belongs to same organization. Public cloud service provider is like an AWS is providing a service. User can be any single person or an organization. Hybrid cloud is a computing environment that combines public and private. If you are using a private cloud, you require more resource requirement than you take a public cloud and use with your on-premises private cloud. So that is a hybrid cloud. Okay. And what are the service models? Three service models, guys. Infrastructure as a service, platform as a service, software as a service. Platform as a service, sorry, infrastructure as a service means just like people are accessing your storage, or maybe people are accessing your virtual machines or a data means physical servers, like a server accessing operating system and virtual machines party they are asking. That is infrastructure. Infrastructure means CPU computational power you are giving, in CPU storage, memory, and these comes under infrastructure service, including networking also. Like you are accessing a server, physical server, or a virtual machines, virtual server kind of stuff. Okay. Platform as a service. You don't worry about the what virtual machine, what network resources. Simply you use you want to run an application, you develop an application, you want to deploy an application, you are providing to that one. So you develop in that environment is called a platform as a service. What are the background running is we don't worry. Software as a service, directly accessing an application, you don't worry about what platform it is running, what virtual machines are running, what physical resources it is running. You don't require to know about anything, simply access the software as a service. Software as a service is an example, this Google Docs. Okay, this is also Google Docs. Okay, and we are running an application. WhatsApp application is a application, not a website. It's an application running in a background. Okay, of course, Office 365 is the best example for a software as a service. Salesforce is a one of the application. Okay, different service providers, mainly AWS, Azure, GCP, OCI. There are so many different public cloud service providers. Private cloud service providers won't be there because private clouds will be built from different by installing different applications or platforms. Private cloud will be built. Okay, different domains are there, guys. Always go to any cloud service provider and go to their domains like compute, databases, storage, network related, message related, security, identity, compliances, and any other resources here. Go for it. Okay. This is what I'm trying to say. Each service examples also try to find it. So this is the summary of what I'm telling from last 2 hours. So I've taken 7 minutes. Okay, guys.
Okay, sir.
So tomorrow I will start Office 365. So then in Office 365, these software as a service words will come up. So compulsory read this thing. Okay, that's it for today. Any doubts? Anything?
Thank you, sir.
No, sir. Thank you.
No, sir.
Yeah.
Sir,
No,
in
sir.
this
Thank
week
you, sir.
we have to complete all the trainings. Means
This
it's the
week,
last week.
okay. This week, main topics are completed. This is not additional topics. These are also important topics, general engineering. So in this week, all topics will be, I will try to complete all. In this week, it will be complete. Any mock interviews or anything is there, we will